Good morning and Jai Hind, dear students. Today I am going to discuss the first module which deals with the topic natural phenomena. In this topic we are going to talk about lightning, charges, types of charges, which body is said to be charged and which body is said to be uncharged, and the transfer of charges. So let's begin with natural phenomena. A natural phenomena is anything that occurs on its own in nature without any kind of human intervention. For example, the weather of a place, fog, storms, winds, tides, volcanic eruptions, and cyclones all can be categorized as natural phenomena. Some natural phenomena can be destructive, such as cyclones, thunders, lightning, and earthquakes. However, there are some ways with which we can protect and prepare ourselves from these natural disasters. Here you can see the pics of different natural phenomena like drought, earthquakes, extreme heat, floods, hurricanes, landslides, space weather, thunderstorms, lightning, tsunamis, volcanoes, wildfires, winter storms, extreme cold, etc. Coming to lightning. Lightning is an electric discharge or an electric spark that occurs in nature on a major scale. It is caused by the accumulation of charges in the clouds. It can be deadly and cause the destruction of life and property. In ancient times, people were unaware of the cause of lightning and hence they were scared of it. Nowadays, scientists have evolved some precautions that can help us prepare and protect ourselves from this natural phenomenon. Here you can see the picture of lightning, and you can see on such a large scale it is taking place. Lightning is nothing but an electric spark which is mainly due to the deposition or accumulation of charges on the clouds on a large scale. The sparks that Greeks knew about. The Greeks were already aware of the electric charges from 600 BC. They knew that when amber, a type of resin or synthetic polymer, and fur are rubbed together, then amber can attract light objects like hair. Similarly, woolen cloths or polyester cloths also attract hair and can produce a little spark or crackling sound when they are taken off from the body. This is because of electric charges. Benjamin Franklin was an American scientist who in 1752 discovered and proved that lightning and spark produced from these clothes are all same things. He further said that charges are of two types, positive charge and negative charges. He said that like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. Coming to electric charges, before we talk about it, we should have a clear knowledge of atoms. We know that everything in universe or all matter in the universe is made up of very tiny particles which are called atoms. And these atoms are further subdivided into smaller particles which are called subatomic particles such as electrons, protons, neutrons. All these particles share a common property that they carry electric charges. Electrons have a negative charge on them while protons have a positive charge. We know that atoms carry valence charge. However, these may sometimes become out of order. An object will be called electrically neutral if it is carrying a balanced proportion of positive and negative charges. An object is called a charged object if there is an imbalance of electrons and protons in it. So what does that mean? It means that if an atom has equal number of protons and electrons, then the charges on the proton will balance the charges on the electrons, as a result of which the atom will be neutral or it will be electrically stable. We know that every atom comprises of subatomic particles. So we talk about any object, that means they are made up of atoms. For example, when we rub two objects with each other, they get charged due to transfer of electrons between them. For example, if we rub a rubber balloon with animal fur, the balloon is made up of rubber, attracts the electrons from the animal fur. This results in rubber having an excess of electrons while fur having shortage of electrons. In the same way, if we rub a plastic comb with dry hair, the comb starts attracting small bits of paper even from distance. And why does it do so? Because when we rub the comb with dry hair, it acquired certain charges. Then coming to glass rod, when we rub a glass rod with silk cloth, the glass rod becomes positively charged. And when we rub an ebonite rod with a fur or woolen material, it becomes negatively charged. We know that charged objects may have a shortage or excess of electrons. Objects having an excess of electrons are called negatively charged, while an object having a shortage of electrons are called positively charged. For example, if we take the case of sodium, the atomic number of sodium is 11. So it has 11 protons and 11 electrons. But if sodium now loses 1 electron, then the number of protons in sodium will be the same, 11, but the number of electrons will become 10. That means sodium has become deficient of electron, 1 electron has reduced. So the positive charge is now more on sodium. So thereby losing 1 electron, sodium starts behaving like a positive ion or a positively charged particle, which is also called cation. Similarly, if we talk about chlorine, chlorine atomic number is 17. So the number of protons in chlorine are 17 and the number of electrons are also 17. If chlorine accepts 1 electron, that means its number of electrons now becomes 18, but the number of protons remains the same, that is 17. So the negative charge now in chlorine atom is more when it has acquired 1 electron. So it starts behaving like a negatively charged ion or anion. Similar is the case with objects also. When a glass rod was rubbed with silk cloth, it became positively charged, while this silk cloth becomes negatively charged. Now these charged objects are now capable of attracting other charged and uncharged objects. Objects having the same kind of charges repel each other, while objects with different kind of charges attract each other. Interaction between charges. What is an electrostatic force? In the previous chapter called force, you had already studied about electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is a non-contact force. It is an action at a distance force. So we can say the force of attraction or repulsion experienced by charged objects is called electrostatic force. Or we can also say the force that comes into play between two charged bodies or between a charged body and an uncharged body separated by a distance is called electrostatic force. So you can see here clearly, here we have a charge Q1 and another charge we have Q2, which is separated by a distance t. So the electrostatic force is acting between the two bodies having charges Q1 and Q2. Coming to static charge. Static charge or static electricity is an electric charge which does not move. Static charge are as a result when two objects are rubbed with each other. When two surfaces come in contact with each other repeatedly, it results in the transfer of electrons from one material to another. The strength of an electric charge depends upon different factors such as temperature, humidity, or properties of the surface such as its materials. I will stop here, and in the next module I will be discussing about the methods through which an uncharged body can be charged, and we will also discuss about gold leaf electroscope and the concept of earthing. All of these we are going to discuss in module 2. Thank you. Jai Hind.